Question: what are the constituents of fundamental, radical change? With all our technological advancements, are we any more intelligent than the caveman? We still have wars, vast inequality, neglected environmental issues, and deal with normalized psychological and physiological dilemmas. We seem to change superficially, but we still struggle in ways that truly mock our supposed sophistication. Anyone seriously interested in finding out if there is another way to live must inevitably come to the following question: what are the constituents of radical change? It would seem, upon observation, the constituents for radical change are urgency, choicelessness, and energy. Without these, there can be no fundamental change for the human being. Urgency is wholly lacking in the actions of the common human being. When one believes they have time, one generally procrastinates, though many will attest to being able to accomplish a task when one's back is against the wall or a deadline is present. This rather simple observation reflects the fact that where there is time, there is no radical sense of change. And if one has gone into the question of thought and time for oneself, at this point one would notice that since thought is time, and all of our most sophisticated solutions to our most devastating problems have naturally been derived from thought, why we never seem to actually change reveals itself. Thought is time. Time is a measurement. That which can be measured is limited. Therefore, our solutions loop within an unnoticed cycle of limitation. Therefore, in regards to radical change, a sense of urgency and a noticing of the visceral fact that thought is inherently limited becomes law. However, this urgency to change is systematically conditioned out of the average human being in favor of a rather insidious passivity. Choicelessness is fundamental because it is the one who has choices who must then take time to make the right decision. And further, the attempt to make the right decision allows for indecision or regret. And so, in a land of choices, we see people who are also riddled with anxiety, the like of which has many reasons, but is not inseparable from the mountain of choices laid before the individual today. Energy is also a law, or unavoidable constituent, of radical change, since one requires energy to do anything and everything. And though we seem to have endless energy in the pursuit of our pleasures, somehow that energy dissipates upon the challenge of responsibility. And it is the one who can stand still within the pursuit of said pleasures who can also then notice not only the relationship between said pleasures and one's pain, but also the looping and limited nature of thought itself. The constant and ignorant dissipation of mental and bodily energy is destructive to all aspects of life and necessarily related to the degenerative ways in which we conduct ourselves at present. And so, it is to the extent that this is seen in depth in one's daily life that one can actually approach the challenge of radical, fundamental change. And so we loop back to the question, what are the constituents of fundamental, radical change? Answer: urgency, choicelessness, and energy. Reflect on all this. Be still with it. And as always, take it easy.